Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today we're going to be talking about the new movie from the director of Taken. Today we're going to be talking about Peppermint, starring Jennifer Garner in this new action revenge thriller, and I do have to warn you, there will be spoilers in this review. 5 years after the murder of her husband and daughter and the killers set free, a woman goes on a murder spree, taking out all of the people behind the miscarriage of justice. Where do I even begin with this movie? This movie falls under the category of a dime a dozen when it comes to the type of revenge flick that it is. I can even go over the list of tropes that this movie uses because those are always so much fun, right? You have a happy family that gets torn apart by violence, whether or not through corruption, and despite a positive ID, those responsible for the crime are set free. The justice system doesn't work, so someone has to take the law in their own hands. That person gets to be really good at killing people despite never having training before the incident. Cops involved the first time around just so happen to get involved again this time. The feds get involved because of course the plot is much bigger than expected. The bad guy leader has a bit of a screw loose. The bad guy leader, of course, has a boss. The public is very protective of their new hero and doesn't help the cops to find her. After a while, and many dead bodies later, the bad guys finally get the jump on our hero, thinking they've killed her, and after not producing a body, lead her right to their hideout. Of course there is a dirty cop that isn't the obvious one. Of course something gets in the way of our hero killing the main bad guy so they can have a showdown later. Bad guy threatens those that our hero protects, causing her to give herself up to them. Of course she has a plan to stop them anyway, after getting beaten to a pulp anyway. Our hero survives and is arrested, only to be freed by the cop the movie was trying to convince the audience was dirty, because there is still work to be done. And lastly, of course, there is still the bigger bad guys to go after because, again, the main bad guy had a boss, and there are sequels to be made. Now, I'm sure there are more, as always, but I think I got my point across. This movie had elements from a ton of other movies and shows. You can make comparisons to movies like Death Wish, and oddly enough, Spawn, the whole hero protects the slums thing. If this movie reminded me anything, of course it would be The Punisher. So, yeah, nothing really original there. And funny thing is, I know it's not that Daredevil, but there's that odd connection of Jennifer Garner was Elektra in Daredevil, and The Punisher was in Daredevil. Like I said, there isn't really a connection, but I thought that was kind of funny. Now, I'm not going to pretend that this movie isn't like tons of other movies. I'm not even going to call it a great movie or even really want to recommend it to you. I'm not even going to try to understand why this movie is still called Peppermint when the line about peppermint from the trailer wasn't even in the movie. Sure, her daughter liked peppermint ice cream still, but come on, that was really the only reference to it. This movie is a lot of other movies that you've seen before and probably done better. But here's the thing, though. Despite this movie being a tropey McTrope-Fest, I still kind of liked it. I still kind of like this movie. I think I'm going to have to put this in the guilty pleasures file. You see, I feel like I'm in a meeting here. I have a bit of a thing for Jennifer Garner. I have had one for a long time and really actually liked her in this. I like the idea of her being a damaged character that gets all T2 Linda Hamilton tough, goes all Frank Castle and takes it to the bad guys. Well, I probably would have toned down the one-liners for a more serious character tone. Hearing her say some of the stuff she did in this still kind of worked for me. I liked that she was able to play both the sympathetic victim and the brutal killer. She's been playing the mom character in a lot of movies lately, and I do mean a lot. So it was nice to see her get to kick a little ass again. Watching her go John Wick on cartel members is a bit of fun. And don't get me started on that witch of a not Girl Scout mom that she deals with. Again, I'm not going to try to convince you that this movie is great or original. It's about as cookie cutter as you can get. I'm not even going to try to convince you that you should even watch this on Netflix or rent it. That being said, despite a lot of critics taking a crap on this one, audiences seem to like it. Hell, some of the audience I was in applauded at the end of this movie. Most of them seem to have a good time with this one, and I have to say that I know I did. Do I see this turning into the next Taken? Probably. Do I think they're going to run it into the ground given it did pretty well this weekend for a movie not connected to the Conjuring universe? Yes. Am I going to let that bother me in my enjoyment of the movie? Not right now, I'm not. Lastly, am I Jennifer Garner biased? Maybe. Probably. Okay, definitely. But I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed her in it, and I'm not going to apologize for it. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about the movie, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later.